It is 77 days until the FIFA Rocket League World Cup. It is 54 days to the start of the RLCS 2026 season. It's 28 days until RSC Season 4 playoffs. And it is just count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 days to the RSC Season 4 mid-season tournament, and Bromio's got followed right over his face. He was just talking about off stream about how that's annoying him, and there it is.
No. Do you know it is a thing? It's a law thing. We're running with it now.
Well, welcome. This is Just Saying Season 2, Episode 18. Welcome to it, myself, the Bromio, and the Bruv, gentlemen. We are in the boom time of Rocket League.
We really are, to be honest. I was thinking, man, surely we must be running out of stuff to talk about this week. And I was going through our talking points for today. And I was like, damn, does it ever get any less? I feel like the hour-long podcast is done. It's the 90-minute special every single time now.
Oh, literally, man. And like, shout out Pyro who just jumped into chat. Like, clearly Rocket League is just everywhere and anywhere that you look. So excited to get this going and talking about what's been going on.
Well, howdy to everybody who is here. We got Keegs, we got Chase, we got Binko, the Fromeo. Of course, Pyro just mentioned. It's Mr. Mars is here. Borky, Syntax, Stones, Yoshi, Archeon. Boom! How's it, Archeon? Welcome, everybody. And Demonics, of course, are here so far. And our agenda for tonight is very simple. We're going to be about RLCS 2026. Confirmed and rumored rosters, what's shaping up there. Then there's RSC League play. We've just wrapped up week 5, a bunch of things to talk about there. What are the standings? Who's standing where? Who's in the running for playoffs and such things? And then, of course, in 4 days, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, we got the big LAN coming up in Stellenbosch. All right, Bromio, hold tight. Here comes another follow. Thanks for following. Dark has followed. Thank you very much. And slightly annoying Bromio once more.
I was like, don't follow because I hate it.
Big Ben Kahuna, I see you there. So, gents, 54 days to the start of the season, and that's come as a bit of a surprise because we, of course, all expected things to be starting at in January as the last seasons have started. This time, though, it's starting in November, 22nd of November. RLCS 2026 gets underway, and Blaze Gamers, thank you for following. Good to have you. So there are a bunch of rosters that we're hearing about. Some of them are confirmed, some are still rumored. So gents, I thought we'd go through this and we can get our opinions on it, but also in chat. Any thoughts and any leaks in chat? Feel free to either leak it in chat or send me a DM if you don't want to leak out there. So well, let's get started. Let's have a look at our first. Our first roster, and I realize I can't see anything that's going on here because I'm in the wrong spot.
There we go. It's up.
There we go. Okay. There we go. So this is now, I think this is confirmed. I've had a couple of people about it, but I'm not 100% convinced. Sweaty Clarence, Louis P, and To Die For. Now that, if true, will be a power roster. I don't know, guys. Bromio, are you familiar with Louis P? If not, I'll give you the scoop.
Well, I've heard about him, but just assume for the sake of a chat that I do not know anything about Louis P, other than the fact that he's a little bit Spanish.
Yeah, I know nothing. So please educate us, Premier.
Well, what we're going to discover as we discuss rosters is that the Spanish have not left us. If anything, the Spanish invasion will continue. Now, Lewis P., I'm very surprised he's playing SSA. I first cast Lewis P. in Uni Rocketeers, which is the European University Rocket League. And that must have been 4 years ago. And last season, he did quite well. He had a top 3 to 4 finish in one of them in the Birmingham Major, and a bunch of sort of 5th to 8th, and then 12 to 16. So he's kind of up there in the EU Rocket League scene. So I don't know what org, if they have an org, and if they do, what org, even if a power roster potentially coming up.
Well, I'm looking forward to this one because ever since we saw the split of Limitless, we've been looking to see who these boys are going to be pairing up with. So this is a very strong team. And I know that we've also been, we've seen some speculation on it. Has it been confirmed, GB, on the other strong team coming out of Limitless?
Yeah, I believe that is confirmed. Okay, so let's see our next roster. I think that's the next one coming up. Indeed, it is. This roster is confirmed. Guns, Snowy, and Tekos. Now, Tekos, and I'm not sure if you even say if that's how you say it, but that makes the most sense to me. Is, would you believe it, Spanish?
No. Get out of here. How is this possible? That another Spaniard has come here. Look, I think that there are many possible explanations, and I know that the Reconquista is continuing. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's just the slightly more favorable ping. Maybe it's just the potential partnership of Guns, Snowy, and Tekos to take on the next season of RLCS. So, honestly, I didn't see the Limitless breakup happening the way it did. I always thought Snowy would take somebody with him. Turns out he was the lesser partner in the split. And the fact that he's, paired up with Guns makes this for an incredibly explosive team. So, we haven't even talked about any of the other SSA rosters. We're just talking about the two that formed from, the fall of Limitless, and these two are potentially contenders, and should be rightfully considered contenders all the way through.
Tekos has a bit of a reputation for being somewhat, shall we say, spicy in chat.
Okay. Tell us. I'm listening, Greybeard.
No. That's all I've heard, is that he has a reputation for a little toxic in chat. So the combination of Guns, Snowy, and Tekos should be a hell of a lot of fun. So we'll see what this roster produces in that regard. And I do like Stone's comment. SSA stands for Spanish Saharan Africa.
Okay, wait. So, GB, can we just put a little wager on the line here?
Yes.
We know that all of these players are prone to be spicy, but Snowy is also very down the line. What's the word? He's very composed when it comes to interviews and things like that. He can border on cold, but he's always composed. But I just want to know, what do you think the chances are of this roster sticking together without some form of violation of code of conduct coming along just some of the way? Like what do we think the chances are of somebody getting a little bit too spicy in chat? Because those are three powerhouses of spice.
Well, I'm not sure about. Look, for code of conduct violation, I would exclude Snowy there, because Snowy knows how to. He knows how to present himself in the places that might lead to that sort of sanction. Guns and Tekos, I'm not too sure of, because their heads, what do they say? Their mouths, their asses sometimes issue checks that their mouths can't cash, or vice versa, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I'll put $100 on this roster not staying together beyond 2 regionals.
2 regionals. Okay, I would say that's pretty fair. I would put a hundy on them not lasting past the first one.
All right, bruv.
You know what? I'm putting 100 that they're gonna stick it out. Snowy's gonna bring it all together, being in a new roster. He's gonna be the daddy in that team, and the rest of the guys are just gonna follow suit. I mean,
oh, bruv, he's so young.
Snowy, but
he's so young, so young. Innocent.
Optimism. I'm gonna name that
honey.
Team Optimism. That's my name for them.
All right. Well, there we have it. So either way, we expect fights out of this roster. Next up, the next roster, either confirmed or rumored: Cam, Willu, and Steak. And Steak, would you believe, guys, is Spanish?
No. Get out. Just get out. No, I don't believe you. I'm going to look up his Wikipedia page right now.
Yeah, you just go and verify, because surely not. By the way, just on the question of why so many Spanish players, one of the reasons, and I do think it's a key one that would have come out of the last couple of seasons, is that Spain gets about the best ping to SA servers out of anywhere in Europe. So they can play on 40, which is far more playable than say 160, 180 and above. So that is definitely a factor. And then I see Camivore. Camivore in chat is asking who's Cam, and I never know if the questions are sarcastic or not. But Cam, formerly known as Daisy, has gone to LAN. He went to Worlds as wildcard with Bravado. So he's one of the OGs of the and certainly a formidable player. And
I'm saying that he's using that Q like a Spanish K. So he might just be like he might be a Cam, but just not the same kind of Cam. So they just want to have a little companionship. No, that's terrible.
A competition.
Oh, sorry.
I like mine. Competition sounds good. I think that works. So I don't know if anybody but I don't know if this is confirmed, but that's what I've heard for this as a roster, which I think will be pretty good.
You know anything about Steak?
I know very little about Steak.
Okay.
I'm busy looking through his achievements. He came first in the EMEA Predator League in 2022. Nothing recent. So I'm hoping he's good. He's got some, decent finishes in some regionals in 2021. Some pretty good ones at that, but also a very long time ago. So he could just be a seasoned head coming through. He does look like he's got some, quality for sure, because finishing second and first in a couple regionals in Europe. But this was 5 years ago. I mean, if we look back 5 years ago, had Justin scored that goal yet? We need to put things into comparison. So I do think this is a really, really power team, because Willu has been playing his socks off for the last couple of months. He's honestly one of those guys on the rise.
Is this an SSA team?
Yes.
Except for Steak.
Willu, is he SSA?
Yes,
absolutely.
China.
Oh.
China.
My bad.
Let me educate you. He's possibly the best reunion player. Actually, quote me. He is the best reunion island player out there right now.
And that falls under SSA. That's my bad.
Yeah, that is your bad. Reunion is SSA. They are our brothers in Ocean. The Reunion boys, yes.
Right.
So it's definitely SSA.
My bad.
And then I see the Cosmico boys are being Syntax and Pepito have been pretty chatty in chat as we've been talking about this roster, which is making me suspicious.
Subsistence
wouldn't be
indeed.
surprised.
I mean, is there possibly a French player instead of a Spanish player? That would be too against the grain. I don't think they'd go with something that revolutionary because right now the meta is Spanish imports for your third. So to go against the meta would be really, really brave, really, really bold. But ultimately, only time will tell. I mean, you know that two of the top teams in the country have signed their quota Spaniard. So for them to not go with Stake right now, they're talking about violence on their hands. But ultimately, I do think this is a good team. Cam is, Cam has been solid, and I know we always go Cam is underrated. He's not. He's incredibly good, and he has always been incredibly good. And this team has really, really strong potential. If Cam and Willu and Stake are together, if this is confirmed, which Syntax is, I'm not sure because Cam is the only one who re-signed to Cosmico. So this is the Cosmico roster, is it not?
Confirm or deny, Syntax. And while you're confirming and denying, all I confirm is we're flying an import into the region. Ooh! So whoever the Cosmico third is, they will be playing from SSA. That's huge. That's huge. Huge.
Yeah, that would be really, really cool. Ultimately, and I say ultimately, quite a lot. But in this situation, I think we are looking at an incredible RLCS season. We've just looked at 3 teams so far. 3 teams. And guys are bringing out the tactical nukes for this next season. It's not even a small thing. It's a big thing. We had a look at Snowy, Guns, and the Spanish guy, and then we saw Sweaty, to die for, and a Spanish guy. And you know how good those Spanish guys are. If you watch any RLCS last season, there were plenty. But serious talk. We've got 3 really hectic teams, and we haven't even gotten to, a fraction of the rest of the player base in this lovely little region of ours, Greybeard.
All right, well let's look at our next roster then. So this is an all SSA roster, and again, this is not confirmed. But it's looking relatively good. Skill Steal, Devour, and Onizuma. Onizuma, I was very impressed with the back half of last season. He seemed to come a little bit out of nowhere, and I say that only because it doesn't seem that long ago that he was playing in the same lobbies as me. Now he's like in RLCS conversations. I'm like, what? So another player out of Reunion Island joining Devour and Skill Steal, and I know Vinko's in chat, and I don't know if they're going to be playing or if they have another org or what the situation is there, but that's an all SSA roster.
Well, good for them. I will always support a full SSA roster. It's in my DNA. I will happily support a 2/3 roster as well, because that is some good representation. But ultimately, first prize, and if you do well for it, is a full SSA team. So I know that Devour and Ravi were always, going to do splitsies. The writing was on the wall for that one for a while. It's interesting that Skill Steal is, picking up the mentorship role in this team. And Onizuma is a very interesting pickup. I don't know too much about him. So, Greybeard, the fact that they went with Onizuma rather than one of the more experienced heads still favoring youth?
Sorry, you're going to have to ask that again, because I just saw in chat that apparently my mic's cutting out from time to time, so I got a bit stressed about that. So repeat.
Sorry, your mic keeps cutting out from time to time, so I didn't hear exactly what you said. No, so we saw the writing on the wall for Ravi and Devour for a while now. We saw that one coming from a mile away. Skill still sticking around is fantastic. My question to you, Greybeard, and I don't know the answer to this, and maybe to chat, is do you think their prospects would have been better signing with a more experienced head? Somebody who's been around the scene for a while, or do you think favoring a 2 youth, 1 experience is something that's becoming a bit of a recipe for success for Highball?
I think that's, I don't know. I lean one way and then the other. I mean, we devoured and Ravi together all season. It was fantastic, and they were absolutely my favorite team of last season. And the fact that they stuck together the entire season was fantastic. But I don't know. I absolutely Skill still did do a magnificent job as a mentor for these guys. But should they mix it up a little or not? I don't know. I don't know what the best route is there. Part of me thinks that maybe Ravi should have have an EU guy in and same for Devour. I don't know. So, well, there we go. Long way for me to say I don't know.
I don't know about that answer, Greybeard, but okay,
yeah,
cool.
No.
I am happy that we've seen a full SSA team. I am wondering, and Werty's been very, vocal about it on Twitter for the longest. I think he's also going to be picking up a full SSA side because that is the Werty way.
Well. Speaking of that, let's move now to our next roster since.
Hey, there we go.
There you go. So this is the next rumored roster.
I promise you, I didn't know about this beforehand. I am just that good.
Werty, Eli, and Ravi. Yeah, Werty. And it's funny. And if you put money on this, you would have said absolutely Snowy would not be teaming with an import. Yet it is Werty who's the one who has stood more on principle in that regard, and he believes very strongly in having the region representing itself and winning. So they'll be very keen to make a statement with this roster.
I am hereby dubbing Werty Captain SSA from now on. He is Cap. I can honestly respect it because Werty is easily one of the top 10 players in the country right now. And for him to make a principal stand on this when he's got so much to lose, when he could be partnering up with, an EUB stringer coming through and boosting their prospects, and honestly doing, it would probably give him a better prospect of money than sticking with a full SSA side. So I know that the Patriot, the optimist would say these guys have just as good at success because, they picked up Ravi. Eli's fantastic. It is an incredibly good team. And I don't want to say that they're not going to do well. But and here's my take on this. I respect Werty so much more for putting his mouth where his pocket is and taking this risk and saying, hey, I'm going to back local. I'm going to be Captain SSA. I'm going to represent our region as a full strength SSA roster. And I can respect that. And I will support the hell out of this team. And I hope they stick together because Ravi is up and coming. He's absolutely incredible. Eliakim has been electric for seasons. He blows a little bit hot and cold, but when he's got confidence on his side and he's got some teammates to back him up, Werty, I think is one of the few people in this region who I would pair to balance Eliakim. And that team is looking incredibly dangerous. So I will be supporting them. I will be supporting them more than most, purely for that principle stand.
So I think here's my take on this roster. Eli, you've highlighted he blows hot and cold, and gets mentally challenged. Let's put it that way. That can area for him. So Werty, I think, is very good for Eli from that perspective because Werty is such a calm individual, and I think he will help with that. And then Ravi just needs more mentorship, and I think Werty is the incredibly vital glue to this roster.
Yeah, I agree completely. Werty is the foundation that grounds these electric players because I have seen Eli absolutely dismantle teams when he is playing, at his peak, and he just needs somebody to ground him, and I feel like Werty is the guy to do that. So best of luck to these boys. Is this a confirmed roster?
I don't know. I think it is. I think it is. The people I have heard about this roster from, no one wants to commit to anything because, everyone's trying to be principled and not leak. If they're leaking away, I think so. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the roster.
I would love to see this one. Honestly, I think this is one of the teams to watch.
Okay. Well, let's see what is next. Next up on our list of so this isn't a complete roster, and it doesn't really come as a surprise because Daps and Declan have been together since the start of RLCS. Really, I mean, they've become an institution in themselves, and they were trialing and looking at an SS third. They've now extended they've cast the net a little wider, looking third, and no success yet. But and I don't think they'll be under the Genesix banner, which is unfortunate. Genesix being probably one of my top 3 orgs for the region, but I'm not sure. I don't think that's going to pan out. But Daps, Declan, we'll see where they go. But I would love to see them sort of make that jump into the sort of regular top 4.
Yeah, they had some moments last season where they were really impressing, and I feel like it's unfortunate that they don't have a solid standing third. And I feel like this is the argument right now. This is a team that I think that is already experienced, very experienced at RLCS top 12, and does it regularly. They might not make top 8 all the time, but they are always there. They are always making it to round 5 of Swiss. They are always they're always punching in that ballpark. So I feel like Daps and Declan are the sleepers here. They could do incredibly well this season with the right third. And just having a look at some of the other names we've witnessed ponying up together, I would be very surprised if the third that they pick up is not EU.
Well, Daps is leaking in chat. He says it is in fact an EU 2,500 peak. So looking forward to grind. So Daps, feel free to let us know who that third is. So definitely an EU third, which is pretty groovy.
I really need to read chat more often because now it's disputed that I'm not Nostradamus. Okay, cool. Well, that is good to know. And a 2,500 peak is absolutely mental because I remember dealing with an RSC sign up to the tune of To Die For one time, and he was setting up at 2,100. Yeah. And the fact that there's 400 MMR past that, that I could sign up for RSC, and that's just absolutely mental. You never find a team.
And amazingly,
steps. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, GB.
No, I was going to say he's not Spanish. You asked the question in chat, bro, but asked if he's from Spain. He is, in fact, from Hungary.
Ooh,
there we go.
Let's play this game. I got ChatGPT.
Yeah, because before Dap said that, bro, I was going to say, can you Spain plus 2,500?
Oh man, and your mic is cutting out, so I didn't hear half of that. So I'm just going to laugh and pretend it was actually really good.
Is it really cutting out?
No, it's cutting out bad, and I don't know why. It just you're there and then you're not. Your cam's going, everything's fine, but your mic is like going, hey, what the people do not deserve to hear at least 50% of what you said there.
Okay, that's unfortunate. All right, well, we'll get the next. I think that's it in terms of known rosters where we are now. Okay, so we have the people who I know are looking for SSA teams are Kaka, Spanish, Pingu, Spanish, and Yilo, Spanish, Berachu, Spanish. Rukia, I think I'm going to say he's either Danish or Swiss. I forget now.
I am getting him up on the Liquipedia right now, and I will confirm for you that he is
Swedish.
Little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotations. Okay.
He finished 73rd to 104th in the last open of the Rally Major, or the second one. So, I think he's one on the lower down. Kaka is an interesting one. Pingu, I think Anilo, because he played for what's that, Astronic for quite a while, correct? And I think of all the players, he's been very consistent in the SSA scene. Barachu as well. And if these three players, Kaka, Anilo, Barachu, I think that would be a pretty damn good team. But the 2/3 rule is now here, and it's interesting that none of these players have been picked up on any of the teams we've looked at yet, or at least hinted towards. So I'm very interested to know why that is.
Yeah, and there I'm low on answers. Followed by awkward silence. Okay.
No, I'm reading. I'm thinking. Chat, if you guys have any suggestions or constructive criticisms as to why any of these players haven't been picked up yet or announced, is it because now
I think
that
it's really everyone's trialing everyone else? I think
no, for sure. But do you think that the imports coming in now are better than the Spaniards that have been residing in our region for the last 2 seasons, or because given the fact that it's now 2/3 and we can pick and choose, is it a personal thing or is it just a pure MMR firepower thing? And that's what I'm interested to find out.
Okay, and there probably are more. I mean, this is a very loose list. I think someone in chat just said that Kaka's playing EU and got a team there. And then Camivore, to answer your question, which roster is most likely to be picked up by Pioneers? I'm pretty sure they would want the To Die For Sweaty roster, but it comes down to can they agree on terms. Second would probably be Snowy's team. That's my guess on where they would be looking first and foremost.
I would actually agree with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Snowy's team, considering the interview that we had. Speaking, I forgot his name, my bad. But when we were speaking to him, he was speaking very highly of Snowy and Guns. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you know what? I would put money on that, but if I was a betting man and if I had to bet $100, Guns sticking around in a roster for more than a split, that's already counting against that roster. And I know that Limitless stuck around with Snowy, Sweaty, and To Die For a very good long time. So I think that they're looking to continue building. And I think Sweaty and To Die For have been very consistent. And so I think first prize for them probably would be the To Die For Sweaty combination. But like Greybeard said, it all comes down to what the players are asking for what, because you want to guarantee results, but at what cost? And it depends what these players are negotiating in the back rooms. We don't know this. So I think ideally they'd go for those two. I don't think that they'd happily pick up the Guns Snowy combo without it being a big disparity. I think that there are a couple of combinations that could work that maybe we're not looking at. But despite Guns and Snowy being incredibly good, I think that combination is incredibly volatile. So it'll either work out really, really well and they win the region, or they explode. And I don't think there's a middle ground.
So those are the EU players looking around. And then last of all, I mean, players we mentioned, and this is by no means a complete list, but there are a bunch of SSA players who are have not been mentioned that I'm going to be looking out for in terms of where they ultimately land. And that list includes players like T Shao and Eagle and Willant, all of them out of Reunion. Jeff, Nitro, Zany, Tristan, Zyro. These are all names. I did T-Show, and he's been trying out with Jeff and some Spanish players, a variety of some of the Spanish players. So maybe we see a roster come there. I suggested to him and said, surely you can find a French player, and he said he actually wants to find two English speaking teammates, which is interesting, just to kind of go in a different direction to what he went last season. And those are just some of the names. A lot of others that still need to land on rosters, and they've got less than 54 days to do it.
I mean, I know that Werty played. I played with Ram recently, so maybe we'll see a little bit more Ram in this upcoming season. He was one of my favorites.
I thought he had retired. I'd love to see Ram back
I would
in
love
the
to
equation.
see him again as well. He's one of my favorite players. I just love the way he plays. And I'm trying to think of a couple of others, but there's definitely a few that we're missing here. But overall, I think of those teams that you showed, one of them is going to be the the regional winner, and I think the other two are going to be contesting for top 4 very consistently.
I given the direction things are going, and the new rule combined with the old limitless roster breaking up, for me this has the makings of being the most competitive season for SSA RLCS. It used to just be, well, the Orlando Pirates limitless team, and it was number 1 and fighting second. I do think we're going to have a proper top 4, top 5 battle going on this coming season, which is fantastic from an entertainment point of view.
That's going to be absolutely awesome. I think that casting this new season is going to be tricky because all of them are new teams, all of them are rebuilt rosters. There's going to be there's no historical stats backing up any of these teams.
Yes.
So it's going to be an absolute free fire. And I know that all of these preseason tournaments, we're going to be watching them closely. We're going to be watching ball chasing closely to see how those scrims go, because ultimately we're going to be sitting on that first desk if we're back there. I don't want to jump the gun, but sitting on that first desk, and we have to look at these teams, and I don't want to pull a graybeard and then just pick with my heart. I want to pick with some actual stability.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think there's plenty of teams that I can now vote with my heart with, but none of them I can vote with my head just yet.
Time will certainly tell. Jeff is in the chat. He says he's going to be scrimming with a Spanish and French player in a few minutes. So there you go, just to add to what I just said there. And Galaxy has been quite active in chat, and I'm assuming Galaxy, and you can confirm or not that you're going to be with White Rabbit and Casper in the next season, or can we expect a change? Do let us know. Since Galaxy's trying to get everybody else to leak. How about okay, WRG locked for now. Okay, good. There we go. I assumed as much, and that is good to hear. All right, I think, gentlemen, that wraps up the RLCS segment. With 50 odd days to go, lots of time for things to change quickly and suddenly. Nothing is yet cast in stone. So we'll see how we come. And now we're going to get on to RSC. We've just wrapped up league play, 5 of league play. Bruv, this is your show, dog.
Tell us what happened.
What happened this week? I mean, first things first. A standout for me has been Unity's dominance this week. Starting with Elite, Genie K and Tubbsy and Stolzy. Stolzy? Yes. It is Stolzy.
Yes.
Their Elite team is looking absolutely insane. I remember streaming some of their games previously and called it from then that the team is going to be crazy. The partnership between Genie K and Tubbsy is nuts. But yeah, they absolutely blew it out of the water. on stream, and then their prospect team played as well. Brand new build, brand new team.
Don't wanna
Also
talk about
did
it.
super well. I think it's their first registered win of the season. So complete turnaround. Voodoo's doing God's work there. And to wrap it all up, Bromeo casted both those games, and you were very vocal about it. Tell us how it went. Tell us more about it. Being able to watch your old franchise.
Well, do you know what? Let's just preface with the fact that I used to be on a Unity roster. I burnt my shirt last week. It was very, what's the word? Comforting to see that thing go up in flames because I was dropped in the most brutal fashion. And it was I had a team one day and then the next day it was just like, sorry, chief, goodbye. But to be honest, the prospect team needed a shake up and they needed it bad. I'll be the first one to admit that. Sometimes things just don't click. And that was a prime example of it. They went into that game having not won a single game. I was part of the one game that they played where we drew. And I think that was the best result we'd had the entire season. So for the fact that this team was a complete roster rebuild, they came out of nowhere picking up that 3-1 victory, and some of the new faces like Barty and Zero, they did incredibly well. So I love to see the chemistry building straight off the bat, and I do think that they've got an exciting season ahead of them. I do think they can salvage this season still. It's still early enough, so props to Voodoo for pulling the trigger on that, although every single cast from here on in will be very biased against them.
Dome Depot is saying Bromeo's hair's Bromeo hair looking mighty fine, I'm assuming he's saying, and that is what you call a new franchise look. Fresh off the look, playing for Ox.
If Bromeo's hair could play Rocket League, things would be looking different.
Wow. They call that a compliment sandwich, friends.
Moving to an old franchise that you had, GB, Monarch. You were with Monarch last season, right?
Yes, the only time I competed in anything.
But yeah, moving to them, and something that really stuck out to me when I was looking at the whole week in a whole, their prospect team, and it's something that we haven't really been speaking about much over the past few weeks. They kind of have gone under the radar. The main teams that everyone's been speaking about is Cosmico and Deathcloud, but the Jokers, Monarch, coming up from no man's land, creeping their way, are first currently in the prospect standings. Absolutely, like shocked me when I actually saw it, because I just had no idea they were creeping up there. I mean, that's prospect for you in a nutshell. But someone very specific from. Sorry, go for it, GB.
No. I was thinking we should have a look at the prospect table in a moment, but carry on.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, someone from Monarch that really stuck out to me big time is a Great Flace. I think his new name is Flace. But this guy is 1035 CMV, right? He's played 16 games so far, but has recorded 30 goals.
So wait, 1035, what is that? Like Diamond 2? Diamond 1?
So.
Diamond 2?
No, it's Diamond 3. It's Diamond 3. Definitely okay. Diamond 3. But like on the border of Diamond 2, I think.
Anyway, so you're saying that this Diamond 2 in Prospect is putting on the hurt on some of these champ players?
Pretty much, yeah. I think the only person that's closest to him by 1 goal ahead is Technic Eagle, who's played significantly more games than him. So yeah, Flace looking like signing of the season for Monarch. Absolutely.
Can I? I'm having a look at this man's stats. Right, he is first overall for goals by leading it by like 6 goals from second place, who is also a Monarch player. Right, so
while you're talking, Bromeo, I want to get up that list of
let's do it.
The goal scorers.
Let's do that. Have a quick look here. 30 goals for Flace, 24 for Creven, and that's first and second place for goals. I'm just gonna go and have a look at the overall standings, just so I can see what the goal difference is for this team. And just having a look here, they've got a plus 38 goal difference. Closest to them is Cosmico, and that's plus 28. So that is absolutely incredible because Berserker's been dominating as well, but he is still 7 goals behind Flace, who is a Diamond 2 player. So this is absolutely great to see. Flace is absolutely dominating it, and I just want to have a look again just at the league play leaderboard, because also Flace is 5th overall in assists. So man has been all over the place, and this is no fluke. This man has been prospect for, I think he was prospect last season as well. So it's really good to see that he's starting to, catch the rhythm, catch the groove. Creven is a seasoned prospect campaigner as well. So honestly, overall, it's great to see a team, clicking, because that's what prospect is about. You find a good team. I mean, it is prospect. You're going to miss every second ball, but sometimes the stars align. You get a Flace in your team, and you just start banging them into the back of the net.
GB, are you proud? I mean, are you still a Monarch, considering that's the last team you had in RSC?
I am the ultimate. I'm just a fan of Rocket League. I support everyone who's in the allegiances. I love them all. But correct me if I'm wrong. The Prospect Monarch are reigning champions, are they not?
They are. You are correct.
That's actually a very good point. I did not know that. Thank you for saving me the embarrassment of not knowing that. So it looks like the Monarch boys picked well.
In fact, it was just Monarch's rival team were the only ones who entire franchise down last season, and the less said about that, the better.
But that's actually a very good point. I think there's a lot more disparity this season with regards to who's doing well, and I love to see the fact that most of these orgs, it's their first time in RSC, and the fact that they picked up and ran with it so fast, I love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, whoever's coaching these prospects though in Monarch needs a medal or something, because their team actually on paper, according to CMV, is the weakest team out of all the prospect teams. So whoever's coaching them, good job. You're doing a good job.
All right, shout out to S5 Cosmic, who just followed. Thank you very much. It looks like it's a friend of Pyro's and Syntax, or at least they know who he is. So that's good. Welcome in. Welcome, party. Bruv, carry on.
Yes, we're gonna just switch to Player of the Week, which I think we will try to do every week. And without the accolades and things that we can find, it's quite a bit of work. You kind of have to sift through all the games that were played and pick, who you think was the best. But I did that. I went through all the games, and in my personal opinion, Ravi wins Player of the Week. Reason being is WRG played Death Cloud in Master, and it was on stream as well. I don't know if everyone watched, but it was a crazy match, considering Death Cloud have won pretty much every series since the beginning of the season, only losing like one game here and there. And WRG hasn't had the best start. And I mean, obviously, Death Cloud is the favorite, or was the favorite, in my opinion, as a Master team. And for WRG to go in 3-1 them is pretty significant. And after watching back the stream and looking at the stats, Galaxy's definitely there and was a close contender for Player of the Week. But Ravi just, all in all, best player in the week for me. The way that he helped to defend, the way that he assisted, the way that he scored, pretty much gave WRG that win, in my opinion, against a very, very, very strong Death Cloud team.
All right, so we're saying Ravi Player of the Week or Goal of the Week. What are we saying?
It's my Player of the Week that I went and found. We did make a poll to see what the community thinks deserves Player of the Week, and we will conclude that call. On the poll was Ravi, Genie, Yuckles, and Pixel Glitch, all
Okay.
different tiers. And the person who won that poll was Yuckles. So according to the community, Yuckles in the rival tier deserves
Okay.
Player of the Week. Very similar situation. Cosmico in the rival tier have been struggling since the beginning of the season and ended up getting, I think, their first 3-1 victory, but also a very close game, very tough game. And Yuckles did get MVP in almost every single game. So really doing the works there for the community's opinion. So he wins the community player of the week.
Nice.
Moving on to something that did shock me. So we were speaking about WRLG, right? And how, phenomenally they did, and the team looked like they're really cooking. And then literally after that match, we saw a transfer for LDC, who used to play for WRG, transferred out to Monarch, and they picked up Applesauce. Boys, like, talk to me. Why after such a big victory, looking so good, why would you do a transfer?
Wait,
Applesauce is part of the WRG setup.
Yeah, so the WRG and Monarch did a swap. So Applesauce went to WRG.
Applesauce has been a part of WRG for some time, the org in general. So he probably wanted to make his way back there, I'm assuming.
Oh, is it? Sorry.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Right. So it was a trade. It's one of the few in-season trades that we saw. And given the fact that it was Applesauce for LDC, and looking at their CMVs, LDC is 1795 and Applesauce is 1775. I think it makes sense that they went for the Applesauce chemistry, although LDC is a player coach. Man is incredibly knowledgeable at the game, so I'm sure that Monarch were definitely boosted by his arrival.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Galaxy in chat did say that it was a playstyle thing, but yeah, for me, I was so stoked to see WRG beating Deathcloud, and yeah, I was just a bit shocked that they actually made that move after that game. I thought they were cooking something up there, but nonetheless, we can go ahead and have a look at the tables if you guys are keen to see where we're sitting at through the halfway point.
Slightly a smidge over halfway. So we'll start with prospect and see who's where. Last season's champions.
Yeah,
right.
Monarch
sitting at the
top, obviously.
Cosmico second there. Hasn't registered one loss yet, but less 4-0s, I guess, compared to Monarch. That's why they're ahead on goal difference, but it's very tight there with Deathcloud chilling at third. Josie Jazz down there at 9th. Bromeo, obviously you were a part of that, but is it possible for them to make 6th? Do you think they will?
Oh, look, do you want to have a look at something that's interesting? Is that don't look at games played, don't look at games lost, don't look at their win percentage. Look at GW. That is games won. That are the total amount of points, and that's going to be the first separator that is decided upon when, climbing up the ladder. So if you see Josie Jazz is on 5 games won. To get into 5th position, you need to win 9. So that's one sweep. That's one full game. To take 6th position, you need to have a 3-1 win and assume that nobody else, above you, Nightwalkers, Taggers, or Snowball wins 3-1 either. And so within 2 games, you can easily climb into that mid-bracket if they continue in the form that they have. I got signed by Ox, and that was by the Yaks. We went and played Jokers last week, so we sort of padded their statistics, but it also means that the team that I got kicked by, also took my spot on the ladder. So I am my grievances towards Unity are growing. But honestly, this is all still wide open. There is a very, very strong showing for the top 3 right now. Is if you have a look at their last 5 results, every single one of the top 3 have won at least 4. Cosmos is unbeaten, and having a look at Jokers, they've drawn a game, but honestly, it's so close because it's obviously just a head-to-head separator because they both won 17 games to miss 16. So those are the three clear contenders, but 4th to 10th still wide open. 6 games separating, that's a game and a half. That's nothing.
Yeah, I do think
For-
it's almost a bit misleading, just because of how
Yes.
close, particularly places 5 to 10 are. That's a 3-game separation, so everything can change come week 6.
And I think you just got to have a look here quickly and just do a quick explainer. The first and second position auto qualify for the semis, right? And then 3rd to 6th have to do a little semi before the semi because 2 from 3rd to 6th go and meet the top 2. And that's why you see a strong red line and then a thin red line. Because if you finish 6th or higher, you go into play-ins, which means it still gives you a solid spot at, making your way through into the finals. So the only way that you have no shot is if you finish 7th to 10th. Otherwise, it's anyone's season.
Imagine this cinema, right? And for those in chat, Yax, which is Bromeo's team, plays Unity, Josie Jazz, his old team, as the last game of the season. Imagine that game is played for sixth spot. That would be amazing. I'd love to be watching that stream. But boys, predictions on who you think is going to finish first come the end of the season based on what you see right now.
Say that again.
Jokers or Cosmos?
Oh, well, that's a tough call you made there. And it's doing a little bit of a disservice to Mist, who are just 1 game behind. And if you have a look at goals scored, it becomes a little bit more apparent. Jokers have been putting in a hammering with Flace, doing some work. And honestly, that goal difference is incredible because goals conceding is all very, very similar. 29, 28, 26. That's 3 goals separating how many goals they've conceded. It's not their defense that's winning them these games. It's their almighty attack. And speaking of almighty attack, Rise have conceded only 3 less goals than they have scored. And, they're sitting in 4th position and have been playing incredibly well, but somebody must have thrown them an absolute hammering because that just means that they keep it open nets and they just play it all the way through because that is huge.
That is Prospect. Are we ready now to move on to goals?
We go, much of the same as the Prospect one. We got Cosmico and Monarch at the top there, just swapped around on the goal difference side of things. But it's a very close battle between Monarch and Cosmico there. Unity also close second, which is nice to see. Or close to second, which is nice to see, just off by 1 goal. But yeah, I mean, rival looking based on the goals or game wins here, so very, very closer than Prospect. I mean, GB, you were rival last season, so how do you think the rest of the season is going to play out based on the standing?
Hey, listen, I'm not there, so I think they're going to go from strength to strength. The Monarch. I mean, they're doing far better than they were last season, and interesting that it's Cosmico and Monarch once again vying for the top 2 spots. But the big shock for me is seeing Unity in 3rd. I'm not used to seeing Unity in the bottom of a table.
Are we rephrasing shocked because why, Greybeard?
Because they are seldom toward the top end of a table.
I'm not on Unity anymore, so I can agree with that. Actually, they are not very good at Rocket League.
Oh no! Whoa! Step back. I'm not. We might be heading in the general same direction, but we're on different forms of transport. Easy there.
I mean, a big switch from being 9th in Prospect to 3rd in Rival. It's looking good for Unity there if they can put on the pressure to Queens and Cosmico to push their game. But yeah, I mean, that's Rival in a nutshell for me. Pretty even all around. I think Bulls need to get 1 win there. think all those draws, all those yellows aren't looking too great. So maybe who's on the Bulls team? Maybe Hecky can pull it in for his team, or Chad's the captain. We played our rival team played them this week, and they looked pretty solid. It was a close game, but yeah, predictions, boys.
Oh,
for the rest of the
this
season?
is too tough to predict because have a look at this. The games won. There's 7 games different between first and 10th.
Yeah.
That's just in 2 full series.
Wow.
So
Jeez.
that's incredible. The fact that they've scored a lot of goals as Celestial Cosmico, but they've also conceded a lot, meaning they're not very consistent in their conversion rate. They've got a 65% win rate, but so do Queens and Bafana close behind on a 60%. And yes, all of them are looking good, but one game loss will put them in the lower bracket.
And especially again the 5 to 10 slots is 4 games. It's one series worth of games, and I think we see a big shakeup in this table come the end of week 6.
Yeah, so we can't even call any of these boys because I mean, all of the top 3 have all won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. Every single one of them.
Well, I think the table will be the same for that number 1 come the end of the season.
Oh, right. Do you want to stipulate why you believe that? It's because Bruv here is the assistant general manager to Cosmico, so we must admit bias when bias is there.
Assistant to the general manager.
There we go. Who's in that team? So I have to be biased there, or else I lose my job. Nonetheless, I think we can move on to Elite now, which is
I think the table changes here a little bit in terms of hold on a second, Mzansi Magic. What the hell's going on? We're living in the upside down in Elite.
Oh man, having a look at the Unity team for Elite has been doing incredibly well. I think, and let me just confirm this quickly. They were on stream earlier in the week, I think, and I just need to just to make sure. And Stolzy playing with that team. I think it's Stolzy, Tubbsy, Genie K, and I'm missing one. But either which way, that's a very, very strong team. Tubbsy and Stolzy have been playing off each other the entire season, so they are definitely contenders for that top 1 spot. But like you see, it is very closely contested from 1 to 4th. Because there's 15 game wins for first position, 13 for 4th, which is WRG Python. And unfortunately, at the bottom of the table, a little bit of distance is busy gathering there. So it looks like Vanguard has some work to do.
Please correct me if I'm wrong here. And I probably should have done my research here, but it looks like Flocy did not play this week. It looked like it was Domino, Big Man, D-Lover, and Jalencia, which is Dulk, who played. So it looks like Flocy sat out this week, and they still got the win, even though he's one of their strongest players. So yeah, Deathcloud really looking like a real strong contender, and it's nice to see Unity is there, and they are putting up the numbers to add a bit of a competitive edge there. A shock team that I've seen here is Monarch, which has a Clever Rabbit, S Vulcan, Modesy, who's a very highly valued player at the moment. I'm down at 6th, so that's a bit surprising. Maybe they'll turn that one around, but also again very close. For same as Rival, just need one full sweep and you're literally up there in 3rd, 2nd. So it's looking good. Do you guys think Unity might wrap it up this season and get their first win?
One can never know what's happening with Unity, and let's looking at all of these tiers so far. Week 6 for me is the make-break point. I think that's where we really start to separate the top half from the bottom half. So we'll see. I have a question about Deathcloud's name here, Miasma. Because as far as I understand, Miasma is like this air of confusion, or maybe that was deliberate.
I think that is the metaphorical sense, not metaphorical, but not literal meaning. Miasma itself is there's two definitions to this. One is an unpleasant or unhealthy smell, and the second is an oppressive or unpleasant atmosphere which surrounds or emanates from something. So one is very literal and one is very figurative. And I assume that they were going for the second definition there. Makes the boys go loco.
Yeah, I think Flosie's idea around that was there's some big disease back in the day, the miasma theory, and I think they're basically calling themselves a disease, and they're gonna just take over the league. But we'll find out maybe. But yeah, I mean that elite's looking good there. I'm worried about Cosmico and chilling down there in fifth, but we move. Maybe Ford will bring out his Aussiness and
his
help us up.
Aussiness. All right, well, that's all right. Now, last tier, the Master Boys.
The Master Boys.
The Master Boys. That's Cosmico back in the top 2 there. They're in the top 2 of everything except Elite. Supernova bang in there.
Yeah, they were hard there.
Super happy with how the Jeff, Technic Eagle and Vare, including Blade. Yeah, they're playing super well. We're gonna see a clip a bit later. No spoilers, but an insane clip from their match. So yeah, the boys are doing super good. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Death Cloud's amazing team is right there at second, and a team to watch. WRG, just beat second place, gave them one of their first losses, which is crazy, and helped us a ton. So thank you, WRG. But team to watch. That's a new Applesauce Ravi Galaxy team. It's looking dangerous.
And then just a broader question. This must mean that Cosmico and Death Cloud must be pretty close to one another for franchise of the season. I feel like
one
Cosmico
win
will
separates
be ahead.
us.
One win.
No, let's. Do you have that? Can we have a look at that quickly?
I don't have that.
Damn, it's okay. It's okay. I'll just have a look at it quickly, and then I will narrate it like a story to you. Once upon a time, at the very, very summit of the RSC mountain, there was a Cosmico. And they were followed very closely by one game separating them, Death Cloud, close behind. And then 9 games, hence them. In third position is Monarch. Whilst still good, they are still cleared. GG. So, Cosmico, Death Cloud looking great. 9 games is pretty much their entire, 3 of their 4 teams winning 3-1 victories to climb up those 9. So they need one successful week just to touch Death Cloud in second. And they need an even better week to surmount Cosmico in first. Genesix is unfortunately in last position, having half the amount of wins as Cosmico. Cosmico coming in clutch. Omnius, Azura, Shadow climbing in at the bottom. Unity doing uncharacteristically well. It must be a fluke that they are up in 6th. Ox Gaming doing incredibly well. Obviously, because they're the best, they're in 5th. And then White Rabbit Gaming in 4th. And honestly, all of those top 4, it is close enough, but I think it is going to be a race between Cosmico and Death Cloud this season.
Yeah, it's quite motivating. We definitely, from a AGM's perspective, we pushing the boys, and I believe it's Death Cloud's rival team is struggling, and our elite team is struggling. So we're giving a lot of love to our elite team, and I'm sure Death Cloud's doing the same. Otherwise, prospect rival master, it's very even. So yeah, it's getting close. I'm actually trying to find.
Just to have a look there, Supernovas, I think they're the only team in the tournament to be 5-0.
Yes, absolutely. They've lost. Yeah,
that's really hectic. No, let's have a look. I think it might be it. Let's have a look. 5-0.
I think the prospect team are the same. Prospect team are the same.
No. Jokers is 1. Oh no, yeah, their Cosmico team as well. Also unbeaten.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's looking good for us.
Cosmico's looking pretty cracked. The bruv buff.
The bruv buff. I'm actually trying to find. We made predictions early on this season. I think I just found it.
I think we're
And
way
Don't
too
do
early
that.
for
finding mine. I'm
predictions.
finding
Don't
mine.
do that.
I'm finding mine.
You
because
don't want
I
to be that
think
boy. You don't want to
mine-
find our predictions that we made blind in a
No.
rush.
You guys are safe. You guys are safe. I want to just check mine because I think mine is pretty darn close. In fact, it is. Ironically enough, what's that? So from Unity and down, my predictions is exactly how the table is looking right now for franchises. Unity and Ox, exact same position. The only way in this list where it's gone out of order is Death Cloud and White Rabbit Gaming need to switch.
Okay,
So
I'm going
far,
to.
I'm
I'm
pretty
going
spot
to
on.
suggest we need better prep for this segment. We need graphics to show because explaining this is starting to put
Fair
me to
enough.
sleep. So yeah, let's some graphics and we can show all of that. So we'll bring that to you either next or the week. 2 or 3 weeks remaining. But that wraps up the RSC segment, league play segment. But Bromeo, we have an announcement to make with regard to a bit of a separatist league. So,
Yeah, look, this one hit me by surprise because I handed this off to the great work of Silver and his men. We spoke about it all season long that if you don't get drafted to a team, there would still be something for you to do. Well, now, from tomorrow night, there will be something for you to do. In RSC EU, it is called the Development League. And that's a terrible name, so we shall not be calling it that. We will be calling it the Underground League or the Awesome League or the League of Extraordinary Rocket League Players or something to that effect. But basically what it means is that you can still sign up for this, for this league. And it's going to be called the Underground League. They sign up in the RSC Discord. There is a bot command. I will be putting out a notice for this, so don't worry. Don't get out your notepads. Just listen up. If you're not drafted to a team, don't worry. You go, you fill in the bot command. A team is made using a CMV cap, and you are just thrust into it. Games are created, and you just play a game with the teammates that you were assigned with. And then at the end, we play to see who wins, and we can follow that as well. So every single week, we'll do a little bit of a track on that as well to see, who's doing well in the underground, who's driving up, the souped up octane with like illegal wheels. This is dirty. It's underground. It's raw, and it's never been done before in RSC SSA. So finally,
brilliant.
Those who didn't make a team, you got something to do, you got something to play. So just watch out for the notice.
And we must make a plan to stream as much of that as we can. So we'll be figuring that out. And now we come to the LAN, because it is counted with me. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, bang, 4 days time. It is the LAN, the first RSC LAN happening in Stellenbosch this coming Saturday. It is upon us, gentlemen. It's gone from theory to scary practice.
Oh, it's getting real close now. And I know this because I was sitting with Dutch, who's the event organizer for this. I do not envy him at all. And we've been putting in a lot of work to this. I leave in a couple hours from now. I say a couple hours. In 12 hours from now, my flight is taking off from OR Tambo through to Cape Town, where I will start my pilgrimage to the LAN and start prepping and setting up for it. And honestly, I'm too pumped for it. Greybeard, I know you're going to be there. Bruv, you're already there. You're practically part of the furniture of that whole Cape vibe. But if you haven't signed up for it yet, boys and girls, just come through and play. All you need to bring through is a controller. You don't have to pay anything. You don't need to do anything. You just need to sign up and come and play. And if you sign up, you'll get a free goodie bag with a lanyard, with some stickers from the participating orgs, and a couple of other nice things. So just a nice way to spend a Saturday with the community. And you don't have to worry about a team. You just sign up as a player. And I don't think we've actually said that enough, because I'm sure people don't understand that you don't need a full team to sign up. You just come in as yourself, and there will be a draft on the day by the participating orgs. So you can just come through with your controller in hand and know you're going to find a team no matter what. And I think that's absolutely awesome. Greybeard, I know that I have been, sounding the drum of LAN for the longest of times, but you and I are both flying from Joburg to Cape Town for this, and it's now getting a little bit real.
Thursday morning, I fly out. I've made arrangements I've sorted out the dog sitter. I've booked the flights. I've booked a car. I've booked accommodation. It is all happening. And Chase, I see Chase asking, like a true RLCS player, is there a prize pool? Yes, there is a prize pool. The winners in all categories will be getting a live and in-person high five from me.
There is something they're getting. Can we say it?
No, we're not leaking the prizes, because then people will come for the prizes and not the people.
Yes.
There are prizes. Do not worry. The prizes are also pretty cool, so do not worry. And Chase, I would try winning first before you ask what the prize is. So, no, look, make no mistake. Our sponsors have been looking after us. Slayer is going to be there. Nearstream is going to be there. And of course, it's going to be broadcast by Genesis Extreme. And they're going to be there live as well. We're going to have a nice little production corner with interviews and everything. So Chase is going to be on TV, whether he likes it or not. Because I'm going to ask him this question while we've got the little plinth with the prizes and, the participation medals. I'm going to ask him which medal is his. And we'll see how good he is.
There's going to be a celebrity chef as well.
Okay.
Okay, no, it's Bromeo's going to be making some burry rolls.
There's
going to be drinks. So make sure.
I'm going to be buying this. There might be a beer if you're older than the age of 18, but I will not condone that. That is not the point. Although it is a pretty big part of the point. It's going to be lovely, but you should make it down, even if you don't want to play. By the way, you don't have to. You can just come for the vibes.
Come be part of the ambulance.
Yeah, the ambulance and the ambiance. And I do think that is, very important, is that this is the first community LAN of its kind in our scene. There is no entry fee. There is no alternate agenda. It is simply people who enjoy Rocket League meeting up, teaming up, and playing for some prizes on the day. So I am so proud to be able to bring this to you, but just know that it's about the community first. It's about you and I and everybody who plays this cute little game week in, week out. And ultimately, it's what makes the experience better. So come make the first. There will only ever be a first one. It's going to be jank. There's going to be, there's going to be a few things that might not work out brilliantly. There's going to be things that go off amazingly. But the fact is, we've never been able to pull this one off before. Up until now, we thought it was just a pipe dream, but here we are.
It is going to be, in a word, probably a lot of chaos, but it is going to be the best chaos you will ever have been a part of. The greatest joy of all of this for me over the last 4 or so years has been getting to meet people in the community live and in person, and I've gotten to meet a whole bunch of them. But there are still people I have not met, Chase being one of them. So really looking forward to that. And Chase is bringing along, I hope he gets that done. Some of the Bread looks like Bread will be there, and possibly JTW. And Bromy, I don't know if you know either of those. The very first LAN I ever attended was a VS LAN in October 2019. And got to meet Bread there. JTW, I haven't, though. Chase, I don't remember meeting you at the LAN in 2019. I remember meeting Bread I can't remember meeting you, so it'll be like the first time this coming Saturday.
And do not forget, even if you're not there to play Rocket League, we are having a get-together at Porus on the Friday night as we're setting up. It's going to be a braai, a little bit of buri, and a bit of a beza. So if you're more interested in the nightlife than the day life, you can come through and meet us there as well. It's going to be a blast.
A regular segment of this podcast used to be significant birthdays that happened during the week. And that hasn't been done for a while. Don't be sad, Chase. I was new, you were new. It's not a surprise, so hang in there. So we used to do birthdays, and we haven't done it in a while. So I went and found all the birthdays in September that are significant to us. So I thought I'd run through those quickly and wish everyone a happy birthday. And the first of those on the, I think that is wrong. It says Heather on the 29th. That was actually on the 9th of September. Heather turned 21. Heather he was the observer for the bit of the RLCS broadcast. He's a LAN broadcaster. He's been involved, I think it was DSQ, in RSC. He's a legend of the scene. So 21st birthday on the 9th. Hey, Heather! Then I'm not entirely sure why we're mentioning him, but he is Spanish. He played in SSA last season, may well play in SSA for RLCS on the 10th. Berachu turned 20, so Berachu, happy birthday. And then Marnie, young player in SSA on the 10th, he turned 17. Had a little bit of a stint with WRG. Don't know what his plans are. RLCS 2026. Hopefully we get to see him there. And then Josho. Now Josho is going to be at the LAN. He played for Fish. He played for Bird. Played alongside Gold Ninja. And he's like, yeah, maybe it's time for a Rocket League comeback. So he's coming to the LAN on Saturday. And on the 13th, he turned 20. So happy birthday to you, Josho. And then Galaxy, who's been in chat all night, but guaranteed he's not in chat anymore. So he turned 19 on the 18th of September. And then the legend, that is Kerika, just a couple days ago, turned 21. So an adult in all respects now is Kerika. Happy birthday, Kerika. Then Friction on the 27th turned 20. And then Dijon, who's out of England, but has been involved in the SSA scene as a coach. Hopefully we'll see more of him next season. He turned 24 on the 28th. Happy birthday, Dijon. And Pepito, I see, he's like, oh man, he didn't make the list, 17th. So pretty much I get this list from Liquipedia. So you got to get you, because that's where the birthdays are. So I go to Liquipedia for. We probably need a local source for like RSC birthdays, but I thought I'd give a shout out and happy birthday to all of them. So happy birthday, everybody!
Happy birthday!
And yeah, gents, I guess that wraps it all up. I'll conclude with this story. I did put it in our admin chat earlier, but I got onto Rocket League, played some rank today, and with a solo queue teammate, we won a game. We played very well together. So he was like, hey, should we party up? And I have very strong feelings about partying up with random people. But I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. Anyway, we went on a tear. We won 8 games in a row. He's like the best teammate I've had in what feels like a year. And then eventually he asked the question that always irritates me. He's like, how old are you? I was like, I'm very old. I'm 53. And then he said, wow, that's great. I'm 10. Oh, my word. I could only play so well. I was like, you know what? Just carry on playing, man. You're going to be a great player one day. This guy is tearing around. It's unbelievable. Anyway,
10.
that was
10 years old.
Story. 10 years old.
And you know what?
It's crazy.
Is that, you know what? Mid-champ.
Mid-champ, yeah, champ 2.
Champ 2, 10 years I'm so choked at this game. And
Same. If you think about
10-year-olds.
that, actually.
No, this is gross. I need to uninstall.
So yeah, it reminds me of Yakul's son as well, who made his RSC debut by the way Thursday, which is pretty.
Oh.
And I think he's 9. The Yakul kid is 9 or 10. So these are people who like weren't born when Rocket League was released. So it's unbelievable where we are.
That is hectic.
Man.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to encounter that. I'm feeling like phantom pain for you. If I was in I'm man, no, I got no words. So anyway, the future is bright. That's what we got to look for, I suppose. That's my closing argument. The future
Big
is
one
bright.
on quickly, just to conclude, Yakul's son did sign to AZG today. So that's big congrats to his son.
Nice, congrats.
Congratulations to Yakel Sasian, Yakels being the esports director out of PRG, where we will be landing this weekend. So you can meet him there as well as along with everybody else.
And that is going to wrap it all up for episode 18 of Just Saying. We will see you on Saturday for those who are going to be at. See you next week on the podcast for the breakdown. We're going to go and raid Lawler, and I'm raiding Lawler. Hold on a second. Bruv, we forgot clip of the week.
Yeah, we did. Show us that
Oh
clip.
my word.
Show
My
us
bad.
the
Cool.
clip.
So very, very quickly, we're going to
Bullshit.
show the clip of the week and then wrap it up. So explain the clip, and then we will play it, and then we will close it all out.
Right, I promise no bias, but I was watching my Masters team play, and Jeff scored an absolute banger in a nutshell. And the person streaming, also went off. So we'll just play the clip, and you guys enjoy. Is this first reactions, by the way, for
Yep.
you guys?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, first reactions. Clip of the week. Let's go.
Yeah. Flip. Shot, but in the end, he's taken away. Jeff takes over one, looking for the double tap. He finds it! And Jeff! He may be the admin of the game, but I can certainly say that this one was all skill.
Ooh, that
Finds
was
the
a juicy
backboard,
goal.
gets the flip reset and puts Supernova back on the map once
Who was the
more.
I
caster?
should have edited that. It is, I believe, Cosmico's official caster.
Wow, no, he was very
Cosmico's official
excited.
caster is who, bruv? You are Mr. Cosmico.
sorry,
Who is he?
Kiki casts with the Z at the end.
Casts. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Oh,
Kiki
well done,
Cast,
Jen.
thanks for the hype.
Kiki, okay, good. Thanks for the hype. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're
Yeah,
going to
great
go
clip.
and raid Lawler. I'm clear in the coming weeks, but in the meantime, go and say how's it. Tell him that Greybeard sent you. But from me, Greybeard, the Brobio and Bruv, see you on Saturday on the podcast next